You know what's really kind of funny? Most people are out here struggling, stressing, even feeling desperate to find that one single passion in their life. They crave the feeling of knowing exactly what they were born to do. But you're the opposite. Your problem isn't that you don't have a passion. Your problem is that you're interested in way too many things. In the morning, you want to learn guitar. In the afternoon, you want to start a podcast. At night, you're scrolling online, see something cool, and suddenly you want to learn coding. Then the next day, you decide you want to be a photographer. You know what that feels like? It's like standing in front of a buffet with 100 dishes. Every dish looks amazing, everything smells so good, and instead of picking one plate and enjoying it, you try to shove everything into your mouth at the same time. What happens? You choke, and you don't really taste any of it. You start a lot of things, but you don't finish much. And then that annoying little voice in your head starts talking. Am I just lazy? Is something wrong with my brain? Why can't I focus like everyone else? Listen, stop judging yourself right now. Your endless curiosity is not a system error. It's a premium feature. The only problem is no one ever gave you the instruction manual for how to use it. There is nothing wrong with your passion or your personality. You are completely normal. The only thing you're missing is a strategy. To build a strategy, you first need to understand the rules of the game the world is placing on you. The reason you always feel like a failure every time you want to try something new isn't actually about you. It's this. Our society was designed for the I-shaped models. Picture the letter I. A straight pole planted firmly into the ground. That's the old expert model. You pick one field, like accounting or mechanical engineering. You bury your head in school for 4 years, then work 40 years in that same field, digging your hole deeper and deeper. But we don't live in 1990 anymore. Here's the harsh truth. The I-shape is stable, but it's also very easy to replace, especially now that artificial intelligence, or AI, is here. AI is extremely good at I-shaped work. Anything that follows a straight line, repeats over and over, and goes deep into one specific set of data, AI can do it better, faster, and it never asks for a raise. So people upgraded to the T-shaped model. The letter T means you still have one deep specialty planted into the ground, but you also have a horizontal bar at the top, meaning you know a little about related fields so you can collaborate better. For example, a programmer. The deep vertical line, who also knows a bit about graphic design, the horizontal line. The T-shape is much better than the I-shape. It was the hiring standard a few years ago. But for someone whose mind is constantly jumping with ideas like yours, the T-shape still feels too tight. You don't want just one pole. That's when we need to talk about the future. The M-shaped model. Look at the letter M. It's not a single pole. It's a mountain range. It has 2, maybe even 3 deep peaks planted into the ground, connected by bridges. The M shape represents people who have 2 to 3 deep areas of expertise in completely different fields, and they know how to combine them. Think about the overlap. If you're only good at coding, you're competing with millions of other coders and with ChatGPT. If you only study psychology, you'll struggle just as much. But what happens if you're excellent at coding, deeply understand behavioral psychology, and also have strong writing skills? Boom. You're no longer just another person. You become an outstanding UX/UI expert, someone who can create some of the most addictive apps in the world. You build your own territory where almost no one can compete. That's the rare advantage of combination. AI is great at processing data, but it lacks what only humans truly have: taste and intent. And do you know where sharp taste and strategic intent come from? They come from having a rich collection of experiences across many different fields. That's why having too many interests is actually a natural cognitive advantage if you want to become an exceptional M-shaped person. You already have all the raw materials in your hands. The only thing left is learning how to build with them. All right, but how do you build those M-shaped mountain peaks if, in real life, you get bored with everything after 3 days? The biggest mistake multi-passionate people make is trying to balance everything. You create the perfect schedule. 8 a.m., learn guitar. 10 a.m., code. 2 p.m., writing. 4 p.m., practice filming videos. Sound familiar? That's a recipe for burnout. You can't operate on balance. You have to operate on rhythm. Here's strategy 1, seasonal mastery. What's the problem with learning 5 things at once? You move forward at turtle speed in all 5. You gain 1 millimeter in every direction. And because you don't see clear results anywhere, your brain loses dopamine, you feel discouraged, and you quit. You never dig deep enough to hit the water table. The solution is this: you are not allowed to grow them in parallel. You must divide your life into seasons, like farming seasons. You can't plant rice, corn, and watermelon on the same piece of land on the same day. Take cycle 1, about the next 6 to 12 months. In this cycle, you must choose exactly one core skill. Call it Mountain Peak 1. You pour 80% of your living energy into it. This is attack mode. Your only goal for these 6 to 12 months is to dig deep enough that this skill creates measurable real-world value or can make money. When Mountain Peak 1 is solid and can run on its own, you move to cycle 2. You do not abandon Peak 1. You just switch it to maintenance mode. It takes 20% of your energy to maintain. And boom, you now have 80% free to start attacking Mountain Peak 2. Then comes cycle 3. You repeat the process and begin connecting the two peaks together. Want proof? Look at Jeff Bezos. Today, Amazon is a giant machine selling everything from toothpicks to cloud computing services like AWS to launching rockets with Blue Origin. But Jeff Bezos didn't build all of that at once. In the early years, he focused on exactly one thing: selling books online. Just books. He poured everything into building warehouses and operational systems to deliver books smoothly. Once the books mountain was rock solid, he moved to the next cycle, selling CDs, and then expanded step by step. Bezos is multi-passionate, but he plays the game in cycles. You don't need to throw away your other interests. You're just asking them to stand in line and wait their turn. Now this brings up a practical concern. I work 8 hours a day. My boss nags me. By the time I get home, I'm exhausted. Where am I supposed to find time to build Mountain 1 and 2? That's why you need strategy 2. Turn your stable job into an asset. There's a very toxic trend on social media right now. Quit your job. Follow your passion. Escape the suffocating office life. It sounds inspiring. It's actually terrible advice for a high-energy, multi-skilled person trying to build an M shape. The common mistake is seeing your 9-to-5 job as a burden, something blocking you from greatness. You hate it. You quit without savings, carrying the illusion that financial pressure will force you to succeed. It won't. Survival pressure only forces short-term, bad decisions. An M-shaped thinker sees it differently. They see their stable job as an angel investor. That job is the venture capital fund investing in the laboratory of your life. Think about what that boring job is giving you. First, steady monthly cash flow so you don't starve, so you can buy courses, a microphone, software. Second, a free training ground to practice soft skills, communication, and project management. Third, psychological safety. You cannot create, you cannot write clean code, or craft beautiful sentences if your brain is constantly asking, how will I pay rent tomorrow? An M shape is never built on panic. Look at Howard Schultz, the man who built the Starbucks coffee empire. He didn't immediately borrow money and gamble everything on a dream. He worked hard selling coffee machines for another company for years. That stable job gave him income, market experience, and eventually led him to the small Starbucks store he later bought. Instead of asking, when can I escape this stupid company? Change the question to, how can I squeeze maximum value out of this job to fund my M-shaped project? Do your main job well to cover daily expenses, but optimize it. Don't let it take 110% of your mental energy. Save some energy to bring home. Use the money from that job to lay the bricks for your new expertise. Now, strategy 3. Build an external scaffolding system. This is what determines whether you rise into wisdom or stay stuck in chaos. Here's the truth about your brain. It's a high-output idea factory, but its working memory is tiny. You generate 100 ideas a day, hold them in your head, and by evening your brain crashes from overload. If you're multi-interested, chaos is your number one enemy. You must build external scaffolding to support your mind. This system has 3 very simple layers. Layer 1, a learning management system. Delete the idea of learning by inspiration. Inspiration is the cheapest resource in the world. You need a fixed schedule. If video editing is the focus of the season, block your calendar. Saturday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. Even if the sky falls, I am editing video. No exceptions. Layer 2, an energy management system. When is your deep work time for your main mountain peak? When is recovery time? Picking up your guitar for 30 minutes after work is not distraction. That's recovery. Clearly label these two states so small hobbies don't eat the time meant for big goals. Layer 3, an integration system, also called a filter. Whenever you are tempted by something new online, use this filter. Ask yourself, does this new skill add to the mountain I am building? Does it expand my M shape? Or is it just a random dopamine craving? If it does not serve the overall structure, confidently throw it into a notes app like Notion or Evernote for later, and return to your main work. Without this scaffolding system, you will keep walking back to the buffet and mindlessly piling your plate. With a system, you're actually constructing a long-term architectural project. When you start applying seasonal mastery, when you stop resenting your current job, and when you place your curiosity inside a structured system, something almost magical happens. That heavy guilt you've been carrying for so long begins to evaporate. You stop beating yourself up. You start seeing real progress. Instead of feeling stuck in a tangled mess of 10 different interests, you suddenly notice yourself getting noticeably better at one field in just 6 months. You create something real. You taste your first harvest. And most importantly, you are quietly building an unreplaceable advantage. Do you know what the greatest reward of becoming M-shaped is? It's optionality. When you own a unique intersection of skills, you no longer have to beg for opportunities. Opportunities start coming to you. You get to choose the projects you like. You get to choose the income level you want. And no AI can take away that uniqueness from you. But everything I just said will mean absolutely nothing if you close this video and drift aimlessly again tomorrow. Stop overthinking. Just do these 3 things today. First, choose Mountain Peak 1. Decide what you will go all in on for the next 6 to 12 months. Just one thing. Don't be afraid of choosing wrong. Don't be afraid of missing out on other things. This is not a decision for the rest of your life. It's just the focus of this season. Write it down on a piece of paper. Second, make peace with your current job. Stop complaining about it. Tomorrow, when you walk into the office, look at it as an ATM machine funding your dream, and use it wisely. Third, open your calendar and block a fixed time each week for Mountain Peak 1. Commit to it for a full 12 straight weeks before you allow yourself to judge whether it's working or not. Write down the start date and the end date, and only on that end date are you allowed to sit down and evaluate your results. You don't need a perfect system. You just need to start with structure. Listen, you are not a failure because you're curious. Curiosity is one of the greatest gifts you were given. You only fail when you scatter that curiosity everywhere without a strategy. Starting today, stop trying to do everything at once. Patiently build one mountain peak at a time. A great M-shaped career cannot be built in 1 year, but it begins to take shape from one small, firm decision you make today. If this video helped you see your endless curiosity in a completely new way, hit subscribe and share this video with a friend who is also struggling in a tangled mess of passions like you. That's the best way to help them let go of guilt and grab this strategy for themselves. Thank you for watching to the end. I'm Apex. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos. Goodbye, and see you next time.